Alright, it is the next day. Up here, weather is pretty bad outside, so I'm happy to be inside. Well, I've noticed I've not filmed an intro on this car. So what's the story behind it? How the car ended up being here? Well, it is my granddad's car, and yeah, I crashed it. Like that's the whole story to it. I lost control, landed in the ditch, or like on the field, not the ditch itself, and yeah, got like the car is insured, of course. We got a repair invoice of or repair estimate of like 61 grand. But yeah, the mechanic who made the documents on the value of the car, they added everything they could find. So they also added like the power steering rack and everything, and all these components, these axle components down here. But they are straight, as well as the front axle, which is straight too. He added like this headlight on the right side because of some scratches. He added like all 4 rims and tires. Well, the tires are like not the best anymore, as you can see. But the rims, I'll take them off, check them if they're balanced, and might get them looked after. So yeah, I think on the front end we're still way behind what the document says in repair value and also parts value, because only the parts that the mechanic wrote down are 35 grand without work. So we're well underneath it. So of course the side skirt, the doors, we have to see. The rear axle on this side looks okay, I think. The rear axle on the other side, the left one, is like, it's bent in, so there's something more to see. But first of all, we have to get the front fixed so we can start the car and maybe move it a little bit. Yeah, on the inside I also already removed the airbags, like cut it down on the steering wheel, and on the passenger side I only cut them down, and like up on here, which was down here, the curtain like thing, airbag, I see if the camera gets it. No, it's like way too dark in here, but there was an airbag going out of the headliner, and I completely built it out of there, so and put the parts back together, so it looks like fairly good. So yeah, and this is how the car ended here. This is how the documents, what the documents say, and but I think it's handled. We can handle that. We can fix the car and see how it goes then later. Probably have to see when the car drives how the rear axle handles. See if there's something else broken, but for now, looks kind of good actually. It's not too bad. There's a pyro fuse in there, which breaks the line to the starter motor. So this is why the car doesn't start. We have to like bridge it for now to see if that works, but yeah, actually, first of all I have to get this plug out there without destroying it. Yes, perfect. Yeah, this is like, as you can see, this is this similar plug to the airbags in there. So this deploys also if the airbags are just deployed. You see up here, the plug. Yeah, same as an airbag system. And this thing needs to be in here, so we have good contact with the battery. And yeah, this should start the engine now if you just lock it up like that. I don't know how exactly this works, but they do have a plastic bar which is going to get blown underneath between the contacts, so they do have a position where they tend to crack, and this is what they want, so you can get the starter without power. Okay, so now let's just put that back together, and then we'll see how it goes. So just putting back the power on there. The light. So let's see if it works. We have to see. Alright, you ready?
Yeah.
Ah, wait a second. I need the key, of course. Doesn't recognize the key when it's in the trunk. Yeah. You know?
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, that's it. It doesn't turn on like it feels like the battery is not ready to do. So we have to change the battery for the original one, which is charged for 3 days now, so it should be good. And we'll try that again later, like in a second. All right. It still is the
On cold.
yeah, it is on cold, but it still is the silent exhaust, you know. There's this yeah, holy fucking hell. All right, yeah. We can start it. Look at that. Holy fuck. Okay. First of all, we need a new cooler, obviously. See, it's all. Let me grab the phone.
Yeah, you can take it out.
Like it's all full from just this 3 seconds. So it's not thermostat cooled, but I think it smells like engine oil, right? It doesn't smell like gearbox fluid. It's engine oil, and it's still, because it's like a little bit black. The engine oil isn't like too bad. I think it's like, well, let me see. We had like to service it on this one, so it is in that case 60,000. So it's like a little bit more than a year old. No, yes, a little bit more than a year old, and on 60,000 kilometers. And the car itself is at 66,000 kilometers. So it's just about 6,000 kilometers old oil. That's why it still looks a little bit fresh. So yeah. All right. Next thing, pull off the bumper, see what's behind it, assess the damage, and yeah, see what's going on underneath here. So all right then, just a little bit further with the BMW. Took all of the whole front out. Like the bumper obviously needs to be replaced. This bracket right here seems to be in pretty good condition, though it has like some cracked holders, and I think this bar inside there is for the airbags too. My brother said it's working with a pressure inside, and if something pushes in, you have a different pressure on some spot which might or might not deploy the airbags. Yeah, the two bars behind the grille, they're good. Also the bar behind the front bumper is also straight, as well as the engine cover from underneath this aluminium plate. It looks fairly straight to me. Might have been bent down in the front, so this is the front area, and it might have been bent down a little bit because of the impact. So all the screws went out, no problem. Yeah, we have a big pile of plastic stuff, like the wheel arches, the wheel housing. This one is obviously done. Like this should be straight, and it was all bent in and was blocking the tire from steering. Also some of these aluminium brackets right here and right here. Also the grills from the bumpers are in here, some covers from underneath the radiators, and yeah, more covers of the radiators and some more plastic stuff, which obviously needs to be replaced. And yeah, the oil cooler, this is an engine oil cooler. We have to, at least I do have some numbers on there so I can find a new one. This one got hit pretty hard and broke down the adapter to the piping, so we have to replace the whole cooler. In that case, obviously it's bent too. So yeah, this is how it should look. This is how this thing is, and the cooler lines itself like are in good condition. I've checked them. There seems to be no leaking whatsoever. They're just a little bit oily now from me starting the car earlier just for a couple of seconds. And yeah, obviously this radiator behind it right here, it's a water cooler or something. You see some water coming out of the edge, obviously needs replacement too. And behind it there's the AC cooler, which also needs to be replaced. Up on top of here might be the power steering cooler. Not sure though, but this one looks fairly straight. So we should be good to go on that one. And yeah, we obviously have these side-mounted coolers, which I believe are for the water system for the intercoolers, because we do have some water-cooled intercoolers up on here. And this one looks okay, looks straight, looks good. Got hit by something in here, but there's no water or anything inside, so we can keep that one. On the other side, though, I just hung it down, but as you can see, like from here, it's not straight at all, like, and it has been like crushed a little bit more. Like this side too is a little bit more damaged. We have the bracket over here. It got shot by the impact. But yeah, I turned over the tire. Have to get a little bit to the side. But everything in here looks good. Like no cracked rubber stuff or anything. Everything looks straight as it's supposed to be. Nothing touches what it shouldn't touch. Also, the brake has been protected by this huge sheet metal behind it. Yeah, obviously, yeah, I can show you the bracket on the other side on this one. This one is straighter, but I'm not sure if it's 100% straight. We might need to replace it. We have to see. But this one shouldn't be a fortune, so it's all good. And behind it, I think there's another water cooler, like behind this yellowish bracket. We have to see, we have to get down there, but the AC system is still under pressure, so I can't just get out the cooler from it. So yeah, we have to see how I can get the AC system dried out and then get back to it. Like also underneath the car, you might be able to see it from down here. The oil pan and everything, and the oil pan from the gearbox has like nothing but a couple of scratches. Like the oil pan from the gearbox is plastic, but it's also covered in another plastic piece. So, and I've looked between them. There's nothing inside. No oil, no water or anything. So this is good too. Also the front frame, everything straight under here. So as it looks for now, we're good to go on the front. Should be an fairly easy fix. Also, we have the headlight on the right is a little bit scuffed up. We have to see if we can have to replace the whole headlight or get a new plastic cover and replace just the plastic cover, or maybe someone's able to polish that out. We have to see. On the left side it's looking way better. But yeah, so much for the front end. Obviously in the back we have to still take care of our rear axle or some control arms or anything, because as you can see, this wheel is bent in like a lot. Also on the other side it seems to be bent in a little bit, but I think this is, we have to see on the lift when we adjust the everything. If I don't see any obvious damage, we can see it through the system. And yeah, obviously the side skirt needs to be replaced. Everything on here, the black stuff, can be polished out. That's just on top of the paint here too. But we do have a bend down in the door and up on here too. Well, yeah, camera can pick it up right here. And all underneath this door handle, we have like another dent and some scratches. So not sure if we can bend it out, and might have to replace the door. But we'll have to see. Like the car drives with these dents just fine. So this is just some future stuff. This fender also has like a little bit of a dent inside, but that's also not a too big issue. The fender on the other side has no dent, but it's a little bit scuffed up. Also on here, like we had these scuffs also down on the front bumper down here. Yeah, on the inside, of course, airbags deployed. You need to have a new airbag for the steering wheel. We also need to have a new dashboard, which is like the most expensive thing and probably the most work-intensive thing to replace. And yeah, also we need a new headliner up here, or we might be able to fix it. We have to see, because it cracked due to the airbag light, which also deployed in here. We have to cut these things out so we can go better inside. Also here on in the back, can see some cracks underneath the Alcantara. But yeah, all in all, it doesn't seem to be like too big of a hit because everything else works still. So like the soft close function works, the power windows work, ignition works, engine starts. Like I haven't seen any. Well, I have seen a cut wire, but it's like underneath the side skirt right here. This little wire down there. I still don't know what it's about. On this side, yeah, I have to check what's underneath it, what's the cable for, and yeah. But still, as far as that goes, I think we're pretty good to go. Also, the brakes don't seem to be damaged. I have to drive it then when the car is finished and take a look at the brakes and see how they handle and see how they become. And this was the only tire that got flat from the hit, I think, because it took up some grass and dirt from the side of the road. It gets pushed between the tire and the rim and makes up a little bit of space to let the air come out. So I probably have to get the tire to my work and pull it off, remove all the dirt, clean everything up, put it back together and see how that works. If it works, we have to see. But that's just how it goes for now for today. I think we're on a good way. So yeah, let's see. Probably gonna be doing more stuff tomorrow. Find the cooling system overfill things. I think it's underneath the plastic in the edges of the engine bay. So yeah, more to that tomorrow.